Hello everybody, just making this video for the educational section to explain to everybody my plan for the educational system. Big plan, big video, try to condense as much as I can. Really won't go through all the bulletin points, so you'll see everything on my website, 1 through 15. You can see, and then an explanation. I'll go through about the general overview, give everybody a sense of where I'm coming from and where I want to end up after I pass these laws. So definitely want to change almost everything. I know it seems kind of drastic, but it is. They're good changes. So want to remove homework, want to remove grades, want to remove the amount of work students are given. I think students are working too hard and being worked too much. And part of that has to do with the amount of competition. So I know competition is getting, more and more intense, more and more students raise the stakes to make sure they get into the certain school they want to get in. So definitely want to confront, all those issues. So, I'm getting rid of homework. Homework is not going to be allowed to be given to students for kindergarten to college. None of it from K through graduate school. No homework. And then there would be the amount of time a student can be given, how much work, right? So they can only be working on schoolwork for, let's say, about like 35 hours a week. Other than that, that's it. They're free. They can go out and have fun with their friends. They need time to rest and recover from. Learning is difficult. It is really intensive on your brain. So we definitely need to give time for them to recover and just not go crazy from school. I went to school. I went to UCI, graduated with a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering with pre-med there. I was pre-med, going to apply to med school, but I just could not go through with it. Med school is just crazy. The requirements, how competitive it is, the amount of money you need just to apply, it is ridiculous. So, so it is like one of those things where I want to become a doctor, but I'm not going to, just completely torture myself to do it. I'm definitely fine with being an engineer, just a regular engineer, working on biomedical equipment. So, so definitely reducing all the hours of students. So a student goes to school just like work does, and then reducing transitioning all of schoolwork to project based. So everything, they will go to school and work on a project. It just depends what subject and what major. And then so I guess if we were to think about it as high school, so high school definitely might receive maybe one of the most drastic changes, I think. So it would be so a student would actually be able to choose their major in high school. So a lot of kids in high school don't even know what they want to do after they graduate high school, but I plan to change that. So in high school, you'd actually be able to choose your major just like in college. So people can actually know what they want to do. And in high school, it's just, people don't learn anything. You don't know what you want to do with life. It could be a lot better than the way it is now. So definitely remove homework, remove the amount of time, and then base. So I guess scenario based, if someone wanted to be a musician in high school, so they would be, music major in high school, and they would be working on music, trying to produce music, and that would be their passing grade. Now I'm still going to have high school students, learn the basics of a few things, right? So they're still going to take a class on how to do your taxes, how to financing, so interest rates, loans, buying a house, taking out credit cards, all this. They'll have a class on that. And that also would be like a scenario based. So they would be given this is like your criteria, this is what you have, what are you going to do? You apply for a credit card, then this happens, and then this happens, and then it'll be like a game of life. Their finance class would be. So they'll have a class of finance. So a lot of classes in high school would be a lot of things you'll do immediately as soon as you graduate high school, just so you could be, as prepared as possible as once you graduate high school. Instead of just learning things that, you kind of don't really, instead of like every kid having to do everything, just definitely like a musician, he would be reduced, there'll be a reduced amount of classes he'll take towards, English and, maybe biology, maybe just one bio class, just teach him the basics. But honestly, with when I change everything to project based, I think students would really, they'll really want to take those classes because I think they'll be fun, right? So right now they think it's dumb and they don't want to take those classes, but I mean, once I make everything a lot more, I know this is going to require a lot more funding, which definitely describe in my campaign plan or in my website how I'm going to receive all that funding, right? So through taxes, and then through reducing the amount of pay politicians get. So there's a few mayors and a few other people that hold political offices, public offices too, that are paid more than the governor of California. So definitely reducing everybody who's getting paid more than the governor of California to the max. The governor of California is $200K. Definitely with presidents of colleges, they're being reduced pay. Some coaches are being paid a ridiculous amount. So definitely reducing all of their pay, because it is absurd. I mean, because students are paying for that. Like, I mean, we're just if you shouldn't be in there for money and reducing the money. If you want money, go ahead and do something else. Go start a business, go do something. So reducing all of their pay to $200K. And then capping it, that's it. So if the governor gets a pay raise, then everybody gets a pay raise. And then I'm going to make it to where, so that's a little bit funny. And then, my taxes, you'll see my little section on taxes, how I plan to, I know you guys are like, oh my God, he's going to raise taxes. There's so much he has to pay for. No, don't freak out. God damn it. Just removing all tax breaks. So everybody's just going to pay their fair share of taxes. Everybody pays their taxes. No if, buts, or whens. Just pay your taxes. Everybody pays their taxes. That's it, period. So that's how I'm going to receive a lot of that funding. So let's go back to education. I saw a little diversion. I know a lot of people really, really question funding, and that really shouldn't be the question, because it's honestly, how do we pay for anything? We keep taking out loans. The debt keeps climbing, which I don't support, but definitely those other politicians really have answers to. But all right, we're back to this. So yeah, so I already said reducing the amount of hours college students, K through graduate school, reduce, removing homework, making everything more project-based, so more realistic. So I guess I can give another scenario on project-based. So like if someone was in high school and they wanted to be a nurse, or they were thinking about it, they could definitely change what they want to do. In high school, that's probably the best place to do it. You change what you want to do. Try nursing, try engineering, try computer science, try music, try acting, photography, whatever. So I guess I'll give another one just to make sure everybody gets it. So nursing. So the project base for that, right? Because you can't really do that at school. You'd actually be bused with everybody else that wants to do nurse. Bus. You'll be transported to the hospital, whichever hospital accepts it. You'll be learning the ropes, doing that thing, and then once you get to a certain level, like I don't know, maybe your senior year or 11th grade, and you're really good at that trade. Like if you're a nurse and you're really good at it, you're a nursing major, and you're actually contributing to the hospital. I plan to make sure students are compensated for their work, for the work they put into. Like if they actually contribute to that hospital, then I'll make sure that hospital pays you guys. So like maybe your first year as a nurse, then you really liked it. You learned all this, and then your second year you don't need that much help. You already know what to do. You get in there, you're actually helping. Make sure you get compensated for that, and then same thing with the other places. With these other majors, right? If you're a musician, you're performing, definitely get compensated for that. Photographer, engineer, you're building stuff, definitely get compensated for that. And then, hopefully students can graduate with some money in their pocket so they can, do stuff with it. Another thing is I plan to restrict the ability for students to go straight from high school to a 4-year college, with some exceptions, right? If you really excel in that certain major, then maybe we'll make some exceptions. But it is just ridiculous how they expect most students that are underage, not even 18, to make such drastic life decisions with such much money on the line, right? Because if student debt, you can't even declare bankruptcy, and your student debt would disappear. You're stuck with that until you pay it off, until you die. It is just way too much pressure for students. They're young. It is just ridiculous. So they would not be able to, everybody would have to go through community college, right? So then community college would explode. Definitely go to community college first, work a little bit. It is just ridiculous. Most students go to college, then they change their major, then sometimes they don't even finish, and they're stuck without student debt. So definitely trying to reduce all of that. And then, so for college, I know there's a whole bunch. So now we're moving on maybe a little bit to college here. Once we get to college, I'm actually planning to remove a lot of 4-year degrees. They're just, it's not that they're not important. They just, you don't need a 4-year degree. And I think college is just doing it. I mean, I don't believe, I really think they are doing it, but they're just doing it just so they can get more funding from, the federal and the state. So they just want to create all these random majors so more students will enroll, so they can accept more students, so they can receive more funding, and then they take all that funding and they just throw it at the STEM field. And then the people in the STEM field get all these scholarships and they get money to do all these things. And then all these students are in debt, and then those students with those majors, they get jobs that aren't very high paying out of college. So then they struggle to pay that student debt, so a lot of politicians are saying, just cancel all student debt, and that's not the solution. You can't just throw money and expect it to solve itself. We need to, the system is just throwing out so much, people in bad situations. So we should really rethink the whole system. And we're like, all right, why the hell is it throwing out so many kids and they can't pay off their student debt? What the hell? So we should really have to put in more effort than to just pay off student debt. That is not the answer. We need to completely rethink that whole situation. So removing all those, you don't need it. It's not that it's not important. It is important. I love music, everybody's music, but you don't need to go to school to it. Just start playing. So community college will have all those majors that are being removed, all those liberal arts, music, dance. And there's a bunch. Removing those, all of them that I would say would be STEM related, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and put them into community college. Offer some, just in case you didn't have a good high school experience or high school wasn't that good, you could maybe potentially have a second chance at a community college. So just in case you're like, high school is tough. I was struggling with family and, financially, and now that I got older and I was able to work and get some money and, get more stable, then I want to go to school, which is totally fine. So that's what community college is there for. Definitely go in there, try things, music, drawing, video editing, engineering, computer science. Definitely a place to go and just get like a quick overview, get everything, and then you get out of there and then just start doing it, and just start working towards that trade, start getting certificates, start trying to get jobs in that field, entry-level positions, and then move up in the company and learn as you go. So it is kind of crazy, and it's more detailed in my list, but I'm just giving you guys a general overview. There's a few other things that last minute things. So plan to remove all funding from religious schools. I don't think we need to separate. Definitely need to have a separation between religion and state. Definitely nothing should be we should not be funding anything religious, just to avoid any bias towards that religion or towards another religion. Definitely removing that, and removing all funding towards private schools. We are just as soon as I take care of all the public schools, everything's taken good. Definitely will bring back some funding for private schools to help them out, right? Because private schools are good, right? They experiment, they try new things a little bit on their own, and then see how it goes. Unless funding has already been removed from private schools, but there's just in case there is funding, I'll remove it all. Moving all from religious schools and colleges. Because you really need to, definitely have that separation. I don't want to have any biases towards anybody. And here we go. What up? Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, definitely cook lunches. Big thing. Every meal in from K to 12, which I might even have free food provided to when you go to college. We'll see. Still in debate with, financing everything, but definitely K through 12, fully cooked meals. No exception, period. That is... People develop all of their habits when they're young. When people are young, when they're children and young adults, is the most crucial part of your lifetime. That is where you develop your most lifelong traits. Definitely 100% cooked meals, healthy meals, nothing packaged, none of that. For nobody, no kid. Every kid will have delicious cooked meals so they can develop good habits. So definitely moving that. See... a few things. So for TAs, so teacher assistants, they don't get paid as much. Definitely gonna raise the pay of that. So definitely for TAs, people in grad school, and interns. So interns and TAs, I'll pass a law where the minimum they're allowed to get they should get paid is 65% of the full-time salary of the position they'll get after they finish that training. So if a TA is trying to get a PhD, potentially work out as a professor, then yeah, they would get 65% of that professor's pay. So right now TAs are paid maybe a little bit more than minimum wage, so definitely want to increase that. So say a professor makes 100K, entry level, yeah, the TA would get paid 65K as they're a TA. Same as interns. So someone's engineering as an intern as an engineer somewhere. Entry level engineer for that company is 80K, maybe less. 65% of that is, well, I don't have a calculator right now, but yeah, whatever. 65% of that, definitely trying to get that. People get paid properly. All interns must get paid. If you're an intern, you must get paid. No working for free. None of that BS. Schools and people working for free. You need to get paid. That's a bunch of bogusness. Yeah, we're not doing that. Here's college athletes. Freedom for you guys do. You guys want to accept sponsors, everything, whatever. You guys make some money. 100%. Athletes, if they're producing revenue for the college, then they will get paid as if they're a professional athlete, right? Professional athletes, they provide revenue and then they get compensated. Same thing with student athletes. Same thing. All that students, they will get compensated. So that's going to happen. Then a few requirements for grad school. So like medical school, this might be law school, grad school. This might be a little tricky for me, but definitely something needs to change there. It is just way too many requirements, way too competitive. I know it's because it's really competitive and there's so many little seats, so schools should require more and more things to try to weed out less people, but it is starting to get ridiculous. So by the time I remove all of those majors to community college and put them in community college, there would be a bunch of room available for them to extend grad school, so they'll be able to accept more people into grad school, like law school, medical school, and then I'm going to reduce the amount of requirements that are required for that thing. So bachelor's degree, I don't think so. If you go to a community college and you're a nurse, so you can be a nurse, right? At community college, and then you'll get like a medical assistant certificate, and with that, you should be able to apply to med school. Or you can continue that and go to nursing school. So then you get a bachelor's degree in nursing, and then you get fully certified. And a lot of these things, in the medical field especially, it is just. And then, I plan to change a few things there too, right? So those students also would not be able to be worked to death, right? Because there's a lot of people that want to be going to medical field. There's a lot of students that want to do a lot of things, but they just refuse to go through all that just torture. They're just like, I don't want to be a nurse that much, right? So, and that gives about the general idea of most things, right? Reducing the amount of hours students work, because students will work to death. Fully cooked meals, reduce the amount of class sizes. So that's another thing I forgot to mention. Reduce the amount of classes assigned to a teacher. That's a very important job. Very, very important. That really takes really serious, probably raise the pay of professors, teachers in, high school, middle school, and kindergarten. I'll have to see how much they make, but that is definitely a very important job, and they need to be compensated. They need to be compensated, very properly. Reducing class sizes to 30 most for, kindergarten to graduate school, no more, and college too, no more than 30 kids per class, in every class. I don't care what class it is. We remove the amount of classes assigned to a professor, so the professor can actually have time to talk to their students. Definitely doing that. Right, fully cooked meals for all the students. Removing all funding from religious schools and private schools. Can't be doing that. And try to transition everything to project-based. It's going to be a lot more fun for students, a lot more practical. People are actually going to see how it all fits. And in order for students to learn something, or somebody to learn something, they need to see how it is in their perspective. It is just saying, just random information. They really need to put it into perspective, and that helps a lot. I'm telling you, when I went to school to be an engineer, I remember all those engineer projects because it just put everything in perspective, and it was just amazing. So, and then you'll see. So, right, I have my things I plan to do. So, my little educational section, laws I plan to pass, and then my explanation for them, which is pretty much what I give today, and then my reference page. And that's seems about it. Definitely thank you for watching this video. Thank everybody for taking the time to watch this video. Definitely like, subscribe, share this video, tell people about it. I want people to get more involved. Maybe you should run for office. I'll help you. Just contact me on my social media accounts. Just shoot me a message. Be like, hey, I'm thinking of running for this. Definitely, I'll be like, you can definitely have a video chat with me. And be like, hey, this is how you create a website. Get your video going and whatnot. And if people want to join my team, definitely shoot me a message on social media accounts. Be like, hey, I'm interested. I want to help. Maybe help me with managing the social media, because this has been a pain in my butt. I just over here like, oh, what is it? It's a pain in my butt. So definitely use some help with that. Some video editing, help some video editing. And you might be thinking like, nobody's getting paid. I'm not getting paid. Well, nobody's getting paid. I'm not getting paid. This is all just to help contribute and try to make the world a better place. Like, a lot of these things are really just to protect students, man. Like, nobody's protecting students. Nobody's looking out for them. They're just piling on the classes they need, piling on the prices. They just increase the prices. It is just ridiculous. So definitely need help. The solution is not just to pay for everything, make everything free. No, that is not the solution. It is more than that. We cannot just throw money at things and expect it to get fixed. We need to put effort into this thing. It needs more thought. So, and there's a lot of things that I'm doing. Some schools have already started it. You'll see in my references, in my little explanation of the references, there's already a school. I think I read a school in Texas that this professor got rid of homework and everybody criticized her for it, but her students love her. And, students are performing great. So there's a few things where they remove homework in a few schools, and then reduce the amount of classes that are given to the students and make everything more specialized. Like at Verdugo Hill High School, this high school I went to, they do that. 3 classes a semester, and then you're done with that class, and then so in the fall you take 3 classes, and then in the spring you take another 3 classes. So a bunch of schools are already doing it. And we need to just hop on, catch up to the rest of these guys and, definitely improve. So hope you guys like this video. Sorry I rambled on a little bit. Alright, just finishing up this last educational section. So just want to point out that, I was about to rant, but I'm not going to do that. I was about to say, how many students have to continue to lose their minds in order for us to realize that the whole education system has to change? How many students have to have mental breakdowns until we realize that we're working them to death? How many students have to lose their freaking minds and just go crazy and do crazy things for us to realize that we're just working them to death? Yeah, that's just, it's not hard to see that we need to change things in the educational system, because students are just going berserk, and it is just ridiculous. So, all right, I'm done. I don't want to keep going. I don't want to keep ranting. But how? Remove homework. I don't know, seeing your face is kind of weird. Hello everybody, this is future Governor of California, Jesus Patino, killing it and feeling it.